amoebas. Some question about that. In the manifested pastimes, Parakiya-bhava, Krishna performed the rasa-lila with the Gopis. The relationship that Krishna had with the Gopis. Actually, no Brajabasa knew about it. They only had, they concluded, they thought. This was like guessed that was happening. They guessed. Another problem. This mic is so low. Mic volume. Behind it in the morning also. Oh, there, in the wall. Side of the altar. So no one knew at the time about the rasa-lila between Krishna and the Gopis. They only, maybe 2-4 people like Purnamasi, they knew. Lalatar, they knew. And there was the guests, but the other Brajavasis, do you understand? When in the times of Krishna's manifested pastimes, no Brajavasi knew. If they would know, according to the pastimes of Krishna, then this would sorry. So okay, look, because the Vrajavasis, the husbands of the Gopis, would not hate Krishna, thinking that Krishna was with their Gopis. Yogamaya kya ji? Yogamaya? What? Yogamaya arranged that the nature of the husband of the Gopis sorry, I understand the words, but not exactly what he's saying. If there's something unfavorable, okay. Yogamaya arranged that the husband of the Gopis would be unfavorable sometimes, and make an obstacle for the Gopis to meet Krishna. Why? Because in this way, more, Parakiya love must be some obstacle, right, for the meeting. You guys, excuse me. I think so. The mic is. You cannot hear from here. That's what happened in the beginning of the Rasalila. Bhagavana Pitaratri, Sarendut Pola Malika. Whatever lilas Bhagavan performed was made by his Yogamaya, arranged by Yogamaya. That's fine. What Yogamaya did? Knowingly she made the husbands of the Gopis and others unfavorable for the Gopis meeting with Krishna. Like knowingly Yogamaya arranged that they would be unfavorable. The husbands. Knowingly she made them unfavorable. Because, unfavorable, pratikulata. If something's unfavorable, then the prema increases or becomes more amazing, you can say. Like in svakiya means husband, wife, mood, there's no this. Always favorable. Husband, wife, everyone to there. But in parakiya, paramar then there is this pratikulata, unfavorable. That four things of the parakiya love: prachana kamakta, nibaranata, durlabhata, and vamyata. So vamyata and durlabhata, left wings mood and very rare to meet. This is because exactly of the unfavorable pratikulata. What is the difference between Dvaraka and Vraja? In Dvaraka, I was telling about. What is the difference between Dvaraka and Vraja? This is the difference. In Dvaraka we say svakiya, means wedded love. In svakiya's wedded love, there is not this infallible like weapons of Parakiya-bhava. These four things. But in Parakiya, Paramor mode, yes. All these four things are there, these four things, exactly to increase. The love increases in this way. Becomes more amazing. Actually, the husband of the Gopis were not ordinary. They were also not jivatata. If you think about it, consider Bhagavan. They were like Bhagavan actually. Like for example, Abhimanyu. They are amsha, like partial expansions of Bhagavan. They are not jivatata, these husbands of the Gopis. But still, Yogamaya kept the Gopis far away from them still. It's not so easy to understand actually, it's complicated to understand. Why? Because many Gopis were there different, like sadhana siddha, nitya siddha, shruti-chari, muni-chari. So, they were born as Gopis. Do you understand? So in their hearts, they didn't have any kind of jariya-vichar, like material moods. And their husbands were not ordinary. When Srimati Radhika was coming from the spiritual world to make pastimes in this world, Srimati Radhika didn't want to come. She said, I don't want to marry any other person. But Krishna told, This your husband is my Amsha Swarup, is like my own expansions. But Shrimataka said, no, I don't want to marry other person. I'll not even touch anyone else if it's not you. Shrimati Radhika and the Gopis, actually not only Shrimati Radhika, all the Gopis, they only touch Krishna. Shrimati Radhika is the main, yes. But all the Gopis, they also think same. They don't even touch anyone besides Brajendra Nandan Shyam Sundar. It's very subtle conceptions, all this. Entra agora que acabou de começar. So this particular, their husband being unfavorable is just for lilas, for pastimes. Think about it. Their husbands are not jivatata. Con? Con. Husbands or groups? Beginning of the sentence? Okay. All of them, they are all siddhi. Like they got the siddhi, they got the perfection after the sadhana. So when you say about parakiya, para more moods, no one there is jivatata. Yeah, they are parikaras, but they are Bhagavat Amsha Swarupa, expansions of Bhagavan. I don't know exactly who is the they, okay? That's why I'm not saying. All the Gopas, okay, all the Gopas who got married to the Gopis. We see that they got married. Who are they? The Gopas. The Gopas, who are they? In the Brahma Vimohan Lila, this is what we say. Who are these Gopas? In the Brahma Vimohan Lila, we see that Purnamasi announced that year. What she said? All the Gopas and the Gopis, they have to get married this year. So they got married. How was this marriage or this wedding? So the Gopis got married. They got married to whom? To Krishna. Because in one form, Krishna was in the form of all the sakhas that year. So this wedding of the Gopis, they got married to whom? To Krishna, actually. Not directly, but his Amsha, his expansion. Actually, this Brahma Vimohan Lila also shows this. But this wedding is not accepted. Because at the time, Krishna didn't get married in his own form with them, in his own form. He got married to them in the form of another group. Do you understand? Did you understand what I said? So if you analyze, the gopis were not ordinary. So actually this wedding of the gopis, Jiva Goswami explains. It was just like a dream. How is the dream? Yogamaya arranged that they were thinking, today my daughter got married. But it didn't happen actually. Jiva Goswami in the Gopal Champa book, he describes this. So it was like a dream for them. But they thought that the dream was true. So you see this, like this is happens. So this is one conception, one explanation. But you say, oh no, it happened really. So how the small gopis went there? I don't know what is that. So actually, these gopis, the Brahma Vimohan Lila. How old was Krishna at that time? Say. So he here that Krishna was 6 at that time. He stole her their clothes. But actually in Brahma Vimohan Lila, Krishna was younger than this Vasraharan Lila. So the Vasraharan Lila, Krishna stood in the clothes of the gopis. No, Vatsa. Okay, Gurudev is telling about how old was Krishna in the Brahma Vimohan Lila. He was younger than 6 years old. But when Krishna stole the clothes of the gopis, then they were 6. Commentaries explain. Sorry, gopis had 2 years old, 4 years, and 6 years old at the time of stealing the clothes. How old? 2, 4, or 6 years old the gopis were at the time. So how do they know about what is wedding or something like that? They didn't know anything about it. So Yogamaya said, okay, go to their house, and they went. So in Bihar, they marry the kids very small, called Bal-Vivaha, wedding of babies or kids. They were just staying, the in-laws didn't even know how to wear the clothes, and they got married. What is pati? They don't even know what is husband at that time, so young. They just went to live in that other house. Doing bhajan, you realize, now you think everything is like material conceptions about this. This material conception will come or not? Prakriti-buddhi. It's material conception. So the body of the gopis, how is their body like this? Jiva Goswami explains. Okay, Gurudeva wanted to say why the body of the gopis are so developed even though they are so young. Okay, then Jiva Goswami explains, because there are 3 kinds of pastimes, like 3 kinds of understanding the pastimes, or maybe you can say 3 kinds of pastimes. One is raja-kumara lila. What is this? Raja-kumara lila. If you are born in a very aristocratic and rich family, your body will be very healthy and nourished, because you eat always very nice food. The climate where you live always nice also. So your body is always like a 10-year-old boy looks like 16 years old boy, because if you go to Punjab, this part of India, if you go in Punjab, people, they are very like big, strong, their bodies are big and strong. Why? But if you go to Bengal and to the other side, people are more thin and short. Even the cows, they are also thinner and smaller. You have been Jagannath Puri. So if you take a goat from Punjab, looks like the cow of Jagannath Puri. A goat compared to the cow. Have you seen it? Small, and give a little bit milk. But in Punjab, cow very strong, healthy, big. So in the same way we see this also. Everything depends on the climate, and the food also. Like the structure of the body will depend on that. So in the same way, in the pastimes of Krishna, we see this pastime, raja-kumara lila, prince pastime. Pastime as a prince. Another, devi-lila. Another is devi-lila. And another, So Raja-kumara Lila, Lila like a prince, devi-lila like a demigod, and naravat-lila, Lila like a human being. So the devi-lila means he can manifest anybody he wants, like the demigods can manifest anybody. For Bhagavan it's possible. So Yogamaya also arranged this for the gopis also. So you can read the commentary of Jiva Goswami. So Dev-lila, like Lila like a god, like a prince, and like a human being. The gopis also. So Gurudev is explaining why the gopis, their bodies were very developed, even though they were young, very young. And the gopis didn't have any lust and anger in their hearts. No any kind of lust and anger. They did all this only for lila pastimes, like only for making the pastimes. So if lila tatparja and lila tatparja. When you listen to some pastim, you have to always understand that actually it's also Indrajalik Lila. They are doing Indrajalik Lila. Maya Bijbranta Lila. It's like some illusion made. So to understand about the gopis, you have to control your heart, mind controls. Otherwise, you completely think about material things. Material conception will come. So the gopis didn't have kids. What to speak of kids? They didn't have periods. They didn't have period yet, the gopis. Jiva Goswami explains. All this is described. छोटा क्या? हाँ? Gopis didn't have sexual desire because they had no period. So all these gopis, husbands' names, were just for lilas, but actually these husbands were not even jivas. All Yogamaya arranged by Yogamaya. Yogamaya arranged in such a way that the husband and wife, gopis and husband, they didn't have any relationship actually. The husbands were always busy working. If you can say anything, but answer is that they were always busy. Husbands of the gopis were always busy. It's written that the wedding was just like a dream, just like Jiva Goswami explains like this. It's like a name, or also in a dream. Like, oh yeah, my daughter got married to him. I was very happy. But the gopis had no relationship with the husbands. Actually, no any gopa, even not even sat on the same bed of the gopi wife. I mean, of his wife. Not even sit on the same bed. Talpa, this word means bed. So they were always far from the gopis. Their husbands were always far from them. All these conceptions are described and shown. Rasa-lila is not ordinary things. If you say, oh, but the gopis are saying the Gopi Gita, Bhati Bandhava, we left our husbands, kids, family, friends, gopis say this in the Gopi Gita. But actually, these sons, they are saying they give up. It's not their own sons they give up. Maybe what happened, not maybe, it's not their own sons, it's sons of other people that they are taking care like their own, like if they were their own. Because the Gopi Gita explains Patistanaya Bhatri-bandhava, this verse. Gopis are saying, we give up our own children. Pati Sutanmaya. Pati, husband, they give up husband. Suta means son. Bhatri-bandhava, we give up everyone. Brothers, family, everyone. So Putra, this word is here in the Gopi Gita, son. But this Putra, this son, is not their own. It was not their own sons or children. Do you understand? It belonged to actually someone else. Not like a nephew or niece. You know, nephew or niece? So she's taking care of the niece or nephew as like if they were her own baby. The Gopi is doing that. But he's asking, but all the Gopis, so... Huh? Okay, but these Gopis who were in vatsalya-bhava, they might have babies, so that these Gopis had babies. So the Gopis that don't have babies is of madhurya-lila, madhurya-rasa, but from vatsalya they can have the baby. Anyway, but the Gopi from Madhurya, she can be serving the baby from the Gopi of vatsalya with also this Modo, he's my baby, but actually it's the baby of her, like sister-in-law or her, something like this. Some niece or nephew in the house. Or some things I explain just to also explain to the people in one word, in one verse. Patti Sambhukta. The Gopis that were enjoyed by the husbands, Yogamaya didn't allow them to go to the Rasa-lila. There's also one very hidden meaning here. Actually, this is shown only, this is explained only to, so that people can understand, only for people to see. It was not true. Actually, what happened? Those who had not the bhajana, the sadhana mature, actually not mature, they were mature because they were there, but those who had not had the association of the Nityas and the Gopis, Yogamaya stopped them to go to Rasa-lila. And then they become so eager to meet with Krishna that they in their own Siddhadeha. So if the Siddhadeha, they went and joined the Rasa-lila after. Also we see this. What is the best thing is the utkanta, eagerness. If you see, the body of the Gopis were transcendental. It was not material body. Those that for thousands and thousands of years they were doing the sadhana and bhajana. Okay, look, Ramachandra appeared in the 24th Chatur-yuga, and these rishis of Dandakaranya were there, and they saw Ramachandra's, and they got the realization of their Swarupa, they got Gopi-bhava, and then they started to run behind Ram, trying to attain him, because there's no difference between Ram and Krishna. Oh, sorry, no, because of this, because they saw a similarity between Ram and Krishna, like Udipan, like Ram made them remember Krishna, so that's why they started to run behind Ram. Ram told, I cannot accept you in my Ram Lila. But in my pastime as Krishna, you'll be born there. In my pastime as Krishna as a Gopi. So they had attained that Swarup. But still, Yogamaya shows that we have to be born in the house of the Gopis. You have to be born in the house of the Gopi. If you have not been born in the house of a Gopi, God will not accept you. here we see Krishna is a gopa. He only accepts gopis and no one else. Krishna has one speciality. Krishna says, I am a gopa, so I will not accept anyone except for a gopi. It's not so easy to enter in the raja-lila. So you see, they were performing the sadhana in this 24th Chatur-yuga, and they had to wait for billions of years until the Krishna's pastimes came. For all these years, these rishis and munis, they were waiting. They had to wait. Then, when Krishna came in the 28th Chatur-yuga, in the end of Dvaraka. So for all this time, they had to wait. So they're thinking they had lust in their hearts? How possible? No. No, not at all. My Guru Padma used to just stay one life in the temple as a brahmachari. Just for one life. Follow Nashtik brahmachari stay in the temple. What will happen? Automatically our material desires will slowly finished. Because it's samskara. When you have desire to marry because of the samskara impression. Because you were born as a dog or a jackal in the previous life. And now you got the human body. So you have the samskara from previous life. This of dog will come to you also now in this life. Do you understand? Like sex desire. So, but for one life you somehow now you got the human body. Okay. If you become nastik completely without any sex, anything like this samskara will be created of controlling the sense in this way. And next life will also come this. So 4 births without this. Then you'll never come back to again before. Like, do you understand? So you have the samskara of dog, now you come as a human being. But if you're doing as a human being but living like a dog, this will continue. This is true or not? An example is given. The fan is moving. If you stop the fan, switch off the fan, it will turn 2 or 4 times until it completely stops moving, the fan. So in the same way, for one life, somehow you just control this, stop this, and be brahmachari. Then the desire will not come anymore in your heart later. Do you understand? Otherwise, just continue doing this and never will stop. Do you understand or not? Because the jivas have this nature from life after life. And this nature is continuing, it's going. It's not so easy to change it. So 2 ways, Pravritti-marga and nivritti-marga. How the people from Pravritti-marga, the path of sense enjoyment, can come to the path of nivritti-marga, the path of renunciation. Do you understand? Pravritti means when we want to enjoy material things. This coming in us since time immemorial in the jivas. They are enjoying it like this. Since from beginning of creation, the jivas are having the samsara vasana, material desires and all this. And since time immemorial, this is going on. So this is Pravritti-marga, path of sense enjoyment. But how to bring this person to nivritti-marga, the path of renunciation? How to bring these people from sense enjoyment to the renunciation, Pravritti-marga to nivritti-marga? If one life you come to nivritti-marga already, then you'll not have any more the material desires. Slowly. This will diminishing. Will start to to diminish. But if you just do whatever you want, whatever your desires want, you just give whatever your desires want, like you allow your senses to go wild, like then always will increase, never decrease. Try to understand this. The senses, they want to enjoy the object of the senses, and this is creating samskaras, impressions from birth after birth. This will remain, and also we have also from previous lives now. So this samskara from previous lives. So what is this is the meaning of asat-sanga, actually, association of the sadhu. What the sadhu is doing? He wants that you come from the Pravritti-marga to nivritti-marga. Do you understand? Tulsidas se told in Ramcharitmanas. How do you know somebody came from Swarga or from heavenly planets or from hell? There's a verse in Ramcharitmanas. Depends on the nature of the person. Those who have come from Swarga. Where were you in the previous life? Where are you in your last birth? According to your nature, we can realize it. If you have mode of goodness, you understand the person came from heavenly planets. If the person has mode of ignorance, you can understand the person came from the hell. Do you understand or not? And if I have both? Both? So it means you are a human being before. Exactly. So you are a human being. Also, there's another point. Those who came from hell, they have a lot of ignorant mode, tamagun. Those who came from Swarga, they have so much, mainly the satagun, mode of goodness. If you are a human being before, then you have mixed sattva and tamagun now. Do you understand? Many conceptions. Where have you come from? Who are you? You cannot give up your nature so easily. Everyone is doing everything according to the previous nature and previous habits, previous samskara. How about after sadhu-sanga, Gurudeva? Some person has tamaguna, but after associating with the sadhu, then the person changed the nature. What will become of in the future? Yes, sadhu-sanga is changing the nature, exactly, Gurudev is saying. Then what is the meaning of sadhu-sanga? Exactly this. One person was tamasic in the mode of ignorance. How the person comes to sattva, mode of goodness. Do you understand? In Brazil. There was a devotee who was a butcher in Brazil. A butcher. He was a butcher, a devotee in Brazil. I told Harikatha to him. He started to cry. Oh, I did this with my life. Then I told him, give up everything, chant Harinam. Then he started to chant. His life changed, you can ask him. Radhanath Prabhu, yes. Not so easy to change the life of someone. It will change his life if he repents, he regrets what he's done. Oh, why I did that, like regrets. You come to the sadhu-sanga, then you feel the repentation, otherwise you'll just continue doing what he's doing. So if you regret about your bad deeds, then yes. Oh, I killed so many living entities. I told Harikatha to him. In the pastimes of Mahaprabhu also. You know, when you go to Subarna-Bihar, what is the pastime of there? Do you know? There was a king called Subarna Sen. When we go to that place, in our Parikrama, there was a king called Subarna Sen. He was very super sense enjoyer. Like so much sense gratification. He was always absorbed in sense gratification. One time Narada came and told Harikatha to this king about sense gratification, like otherwise you have to enjoy, stay in the cycle of repeated birth and death if you're just enjoying. So this king, like his heart was touched by the Harikatha. Then he gave up everything and started to perform bhajan. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself showed him the form of Krishna and Gaura. And then he came in the lila also. So, how to change the life of someone is not nothing ordinary to change someone's life. Do you understand? But also we see that the person maybe got sadhu-sanga, but then again goes to asat-sanga. Why? He's not following the instructions of the sadhu. Then he goes to the bad association according to his previous habits. This is pulling him. So we see this. If there's no repentation in your heart, you know, anushochan means you repent or you regret your bad deeds. Anyway, repentation or regret. Oh my, fire on me, what have I done? Then, if you have this, then you can purify. Like Jagai Madai, they promised, we'll never do again sinful activities, they promised, and they didn't do it again. If this is not coming to you, then you just continue. Like you will continue with those habits, these bad samskaras. Otherwise, you just continue and continue. But for one life, you should progress in your life. Do Bhagavat bhajan. Make some good samskara. What is the meaning of the sadhu? Sadhu wants to give you good impressions. Samskara. Understand? We see some kids, when they're kids, they're with the parents, following the instruction of the parents, who are devotees and also doing devotion. But when the kid grows up, goes to the school, college, doesn't even have choti anymore. Even throws away the kantimala, no choti, shika, and start to eat some things that he was not eating, like eggs and so many things. Why? Because this outside asat-sanga pollutes, contaminates his heart. The bad association from outside. I've seen this a lot. So this asat-sanga fell in the bad association. So Srimad Bhagavata explains, you have to be far from bad association, very far. You should stay in the sadhu-sanga always. Mano talab ho jayega? Your mind will be disturbed the more you fall in the bad association. In the Western countries, this happens a lot. Those who live in the Western countries and do bhajan, I say they are the best. Renounce the great saints, because it's so much as renunciation. Because they are sitting inside the fire and doing austerities. Because like Western countries, everything is there for enjoyment, like this. So this is true. In the Western countries, everywhere, everything is available. Everything is available everywhere. Nobody will stop you from doing anything. It's opposite even. My son, like they want you to do this sense enjoyment. Everybody. Parents, everyone. Why you don't eat meat? You don't eat eggs? I say, but here also sometimes happens. Yes. But people still like it here. Like not eat these things like this. But in the Western countries, there's not so much because the culture is different. All their stupid nonsense. This habit, stupid nonsense. Everything, naked pictures everywhere. From the airport, everywhere. Naked pictures everywhere. How to control the mind. In India, in the airport, we have some etiquette. The pictures, the black propaganda everywhere. But in Western countries, there's no these rules, this etiquette or this limitations. They make some statue in front of the house. Huh? In front of the house? In front of the house? Ah, okay. Ah, like some statue in the garden of naked forms. Okay. In Australia, I saw. Here we don't see this. In India, wherever we go, always some rule following, some etiquette. But in Western countries, no. You tell me. You tell me. So the mind becomes disturbed. People sitting tight. Everybody sit together. In the Western countries, everybody sitting together. So if you stay in this kind of environment and perform bhajan, you are really renounced. I said you are blessed. You are blessed if you are able to do bhajan even in this environment. Like here, if you don't have money, you will not eat or something. But there, money will even give you government. Government will give you money for everything. But actually, you're. If you live in Western countries, you waste your life. If you live in Western countries, you waste your life because it's not easy to do bhajan. Try to understand it. You want to go to Western countries? You want to go? Go. It's not easy to do bhajan there. There was an Indian person. He said, he was in the Western countries and he told me, I came from India to here exactly to enjoy sense gratification, and you want to preach me about knowledge and renunciation? I came from India to live here in the Western countries exactly because I wanted to enjoy. He told me directly, one Indian. He didn't mention. I told him, you should not eat these. And then he told me, but there in India you cannot get these things. But here we get so much. Means I came here exactly for this. The person told Gurudev. So, but India also nowadays is so much like Western countries, so many things also. So the bhajan and sadhana, you have to do spirituality, spiritual life. Between thousands and thousands of people that do sadhana, maybe one person understands Krishna. Between thousands and thousands of human beings, maybe one person would want to come to me, Krishna says. Between thousands and thousands of people do bhajan, maybe one will attain perfection. Between these thousands and thousands that get the perfection, and from this that will attain perfection, very few also will understand about Bhagavan. Those who are doing the bhajan, they are very great. Do you understand? So you tell me. It's not so easy. You can go to Western countries and see. On the beach. You know the beach on the ocean? They are walking in that condition. Means Gurudev saying bikinis. So in India this doesn't happen. It says They are all doing this. You can say, oh, they're also in the India sometimes wearing small clothes on the beach nowadays. Sometimes because they're seeing the TV also. This they from TV they're becoming TV. Like from watching TV, you will start to follow that same habits. Try to understand that. Then the samskara goes like you. So I have to do bhajana slowly, slowly. But who will listen to me? No, send me to the Western countries. I went to study in the Western countries, then I come back. Sadhu Sujitra did his studies in Australia. I want to get married to a Western girl. Even worse. But who wants to listen to me? So the sadhu, he gives samskara, good impressions to the people, to the jivas. So the swarupa of the jiva is being the eternal servant of Krishna. So we just need to manifest that. Have to udai, manifest this, your nature. Already you have this potency. But now it's covered. But the sadhu, what does he do? He manifests that. Wake up. Stand up, wake up. Wake up your soul who is sleeping. Means wake up this tendency of your soul. What is the tendency of your soul? Atma Vritti. Serve to Krishna. You have to wake up this nature. Wake it up. And get this highest thing from this Shuddha Bhakta. This look is saying. You should attain the highest thing. You should attain Bhagavat Prema. Wake up. You have it with you. Verse says, this material world that we are going, like walking here, this place is as sharp as like the blade of a razor. You know the razor? The blade. It's so sharp. Little bit you, then you cut yourself. Do you understand? So when we shave with the razor, the blade, the razor, little bit you move up and down, you cut yourself when you shave. There's one joke. Okay, man has a beard, but a woman no. Sometimes some women have a little bit beards, but doesn't grow. But from men, always growing, going bigger. What thing grows in the men and not in women? What is beard? Beard grows in men, but in women no. Maybe some women might have some hair, but like some hair, upper lips and around, but their hair don't grow bigger, like longer and longer. It just remain as it is. Sometimes I ask this general knowledge, but don't come to the negative, come to the positive. You know, these questions are asked in the where? UPSC. Okay, when you give some interview in some service, they ask all these general questions. Which part of the body never sweats, Gurudev? Which part of the body never sweats? Passion नहीं निकल कौन सा? And which part of the body never sweats? Never one part of the body. From the eyes. But you cry, he's saying. But it's not sweat, it's tears. Do you sweat in your eye? From nose also. Even when you're cooking, sometimes the sweat comes from the nose. No, I'm not talking about tears, I'm talking about sweat. It's not the same, tears and sweat. Thank. Yes. And also, from forehead also you sweat, but from the eyes no. What grows in the night and becomes short in the day? What part of the body grows during the night and during the day becomes smaller, shorter? Which part of the body? It's a question. The pupil of the eyes. Pupil. During the night grows bigger and during the day smaller. There's all this general knowledge used to study this. All these questions are asked. Okay, let's go. Jai. Gurudeva Swami is going to the airport to go to Calcutta. In one life you should do some bhajan. Whether you live in your house but in your are renounced, you should always chant holy names. What did I say? Even if you stay in a renounced or family life, just if you do bhajan, Narottama begs for your association. What are you? This Anadi. He's doing that. Don't make so much fun. One life do bhajan. Gurudev, I don't want to do bhajan. What do you want? You want, so don't run behind the girls, okay? You want to do bhajan, don't run behind the girls. Don't run behind the girls, like opposite sex. Otherwise, get married. Just be fixed. You cannot have 2 foot in different boats. Get no benefit to just fall. Get married, nobody's prohibiting you, just get married. Just carry that weight and feel happiness, the weight of the married life. It's good. Serve Guru Vaishnava slowly. Then you should give up bad behavior and always chant Hare Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur told Don't do things here and there, like not following the rules. I'm not saying that you're doing, but don't do. I'm just giving the instruction. I'm not saying that you're doing these things. You know, somebody asks, oh, who's in the altar? Then the person inside the temple said, I'm not eating the banana. You're like this. Not doing. Where's the Mahaprasada? Mahatma, where's the Mahaprasada? Avanukut. What you're doing, you should have brought it. Finish everything, give to everyone.